Hi, I'm César Gutiérrez Tapadinha. I work at Heineken Spain, and today I will talk about geolocation, how in Heineken Spain we use this powerful kind of data to maximize visibility and understanding of our consumer and surface funnel, and thus make it more efficient. But first, I would like to introduce you to someone that has helped me with this presentation, and that is very important in this matter for us, not only because she has been always trying to find the right and most powerful question to answer, but also because she, with the rest of our media team of Heineken Spain, Alberto Tucci, Margarita, Ruth, etc., has been always supporting and spreading this kind of thinking and strategy around the company, locally and globally. Said so, having already introduced you to Lara Sevilla, let's move on and start. I have split the session in 3 parts, a little bit of context, okay, about what every brewer and manufacturer like us usually have, how we have filled the gap, okay, and lastly, what has been the key in this approach for filling the gap, okay. So let's go to the context and see it. Here, we wanted to remind you what you all already know, a common journey that almost every brand that works in CPG may have. As you see, we usually start generating awareness about our brands with some touch points like PR or TV campaigns, for example. We then start working on consideration for getting all the consumers that already know us to consider our brand for them. And lastly, we work on the conversion, okay, in the last part of the funnel, in the moment of truth, when the consumer decides if she or he goes to our stores, if she or he is going to buy our products instead of the competitors, etc. Okay, but what happens with this? This is something not new, right? Exactly, it is not. But I have to remind you that we are Heineken. Okay, we are a brewer, we are a manufacturer, we are not a retailer. Our aim is to brew the best beers in the world for our consumer. Our aim is to brew very good beers. Okay, so clearly we have a blind spot. But why do we have this blind spot? Because most of the conversions are made offline, and it doesn't matter if it's off trade, because it happens in stores that belong to us, to retailers, not to us, sorry, or if it's in on trade, because again, it happens in bars, hotel, restaurant, that in most of the cases do not belong to us neither. So we are not able to trace this last part, okay? So having cleared the context and the gap we face in business like ours, I would like to show you as well how we worked in the past. And how did we work in the past? We work mainly based on 3 pillars. First, targeting very wide location, because we didn't have the ability to do it more granular. For example, region like south of Spain, which includes Andalusia and other regions, which means like 6 or 7 different provinces and approx 10 million people, which is a lot. We worked focusing on meaningfulness and consideration, the mid-funnel, and last, based only on brand metrics and studies like brand leads, for example, okay? This wasn't actually as a strategy, okay? But there was a clear gap because we didn't have the ability to trace the impact of our communication and sales. Neither, for example, the footfall increase at a point of sales because of our communication, and etc., etc. We were only using consumer insights and the impact of our communication on brand metrics, which, as said, is not bad, but it's not the best. We need to see the whole funnel and be able to work on every stage, okay? So identify the gap. Let's see how we have managed to fill this gap, okay? The approach for filling this gap has been designed by a very specific analytical process based on 3 stages. First, clustering. Apply advanced clustering techniques over not only static variables and attributes, but also considering dynamic variables like, for example, time series of sales of a store have been essential for getting group homogeneous inside, but very heterogeneous compared to others, which is essential for the process. We are not only required to identify which groups statically are the same, but also we need to take a look at the behavior, because it's very important to identify which of those has the same behavior, even though they are very similar in static variables, okay? Second, isolation. Being able to isolate the effects of our actions is crucial. And here, an approach of randomized control trials allows us to infer causality to our actions in a very accurate way. And third, measuring. Measuring the causality inferred. Applying advanced analytics with machine learning algorithms has been the cherry on the top for calculation with very interesting confidence intervals. These effects of our actions, like, for example, when we measure the sales uplift generated by a specific IDDM campaign in a specific group of stores of a specific region of Spain, for example. Okay, so a process split in three stages: clustering, isolation, measuring the causality we have inferred. Here, just a note. I don't know if you are used to listen IDDM, which just mentioned that it means individualized data-driven marketing. This is what I mean by IDDM campaign. Okay, having understood the context, the gap we had, how we worked in the past, and how we have designed a method to fill the gap, let's see how geolocation has been key in the process. And let's see what we got here. Okay, here we got isolation and causality, the most important concepts of the method for filling the gap in business like ours, because it doesn't matter if we have no visibility a priori of this last part of the funnel. If we are able to isolate and infer causality to our actions in this last part of the funnel, we got it. And here is where geolocation becomes the key. Why? Why becomes the key? Because it allows us to be more granular in our split for exposed and non-exposed group, and they're more granular and specific in the insights we got from all the use cases. Okay, that's the key. It doesn't matter if some part of your business doesn't generate a digital trace. With this approach, if you have geolocation data and access to data of the part of the funnel you want to work on, like brand metrics or sales or the sellout from your retailer, you have unlocked the whole funnel. I promise you, you have unlocked the funnel, because you are able to isolate the effects of your actions, and therefore you are able to infer causality to them. Okay, and as soon as you are able to do this, you have a whole world of possibilities in front of you. You just need to make the right questions for your business and go to answer. And I encourage you to do this. Always, obviously, remembering that we have some requirements, which are business acumen for making the right and most powerful questions, create representative samples that which is key to scale the insights, okay? Because if you are not working on representative samples, no one is gonna assure you that your results is gonna be the same, or you are gonna have the same effects when you scale the solution or the approach or the strategy, whatever. Make a rigorous clustering, having geolocation data and measuring the actions through advanced analytics, sorry. These 5 requirements, along with the strategy, is what makes the difference. It is. So let's make a quick recap about how we work now in comparison to how we worked in the past. Okay. Now we work not only with wide location, but also with hyper-localized real-time or past location, We work focusing on meaningfulness and consideration in the mid-funnel, but also in immediacy actions in the lower funnel, and also based on brand metrics, but also on sales lift and footfalls. Having finally an holistic view of our consumer for optimizing campaigns, for challenging best practices that, for example, Facebook could share with you and see if some of them can be optimized for your business, and then your media teams and financial controllers will thank you for that. Like they thank to us in our business, okay? And along, etc. here. Now that we have already covered the most important part of the session, I imagine you want to know how all of this have impact to our company, right? So let's move on to next slide and talk about some results. The results of this strategy that takes advantage of geolocation and the right methodology has allowed us to prove that IDM campaigns not only impact on brand metrics, but also on sales or on budgeting, making huge contributions to the company. But do we impact on brand metrics? Yes, increasing the knowledge about our consumer and our ability to do a better targeting led us to improve the performance of our campaigns of mid-funnel. For example, we have seen how a single IDM campaign dropped a lift in consideration about our brand in just 3 weeks. Lift in consideration in just 3 weeks, okay? And what about impacting on sales? Yeah, there is a clear impact. Having visibility about the impact of our different campaigns on sales allows us not only to design better campaigns, but also to optimize them along the way, applying real-time decision or meta learnings in the campaign design stage. Here we have seen an average uplift of 10% increase on sales in our IDM campaigns, which, as you can imagine, a 10% increase in some of our brands means a lot, okay? So if we have impact on sales, do we also impact on the return on investment of our campaigns? Also, yes. Knowing and controlling what happens in every stage of the funnel and what happens because of our strategies or tactics or whatever makes the difference and clearly increase our ability to get better ROIs in our campaigns. Having been proved that in campaigns, for example, of 4 to 6 week length, they went over 100% of ROI, which means that these use cases not only cover their budgets, but also they have helped us to win in the market. And that's all. Many thanks for your time. I hope you have enjoyed as much as I have. Feel free to make any question you might have, and also do not hesitate to reach any of us in the future if you want to, for this or any other topic you might think it could be interesting. Okay, that's all. Bye.